Good morning, everybody, and thank you for coming to the today's restaurant news and networking group, 9 a.m. on August the 23rd. My name is Howard Appel. I'm the founder and publisher of today's restaurant news. And the rest of these lovely folks who are here are vendors in the restaurant industry who are here to help grow each other's business and also to help any restaurant owner or manager or chef with any problems they might have or questions that they'd like to give to us. And if you'd like to reach us to submit a question or join us at the meeting, give us a call at 561 620 8888 and go to our website at trnusa.com. And also, you can check out our YouTube channel, which you can also access on our website. And good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Uh,
Hola.
Hola.
So I'm gonna start out today with the intros, and then I have a topic or a couple of topics that we might get in. So Charles, I'm gonna ask you to start if you're here.
He's there.
There he is.
He's pretending. There he is.
No, I had to go grab a drink real quick. Hey, my name's Charles. I teach food safety, the 4-hour Serve Safe Manager class. My company's called On the Fly Food Safety. We come to you, and if you need anything, just reach out. Give me a call at 904-923-2577 or info at On the Fly Food Safety. And we look forward to working with you. Also, sign up for those FDA recalls. Apparently, there's metal in some food products. So you never know what you're going to get when you open up a bag of something.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Just for on the record, next week we will not be meeting because it's Labor Day weekend. And the following week, September the 6th, is the combined meeting of groups 1 and group 2, which will start at 10 a.m. And because we have a speaker, try to book yourself an hour and a half so that we can get everybody in. I think we'll have a good crowd for that. So, Cynthia, you haven't been here for a while, so
Yeah.
welcome back.
So, hi, everybody. I'm Cynthia. I'm the owner of 312 ID. And if you're thinking to open a restaurant and you don't have a name, you don't have a menu, you need help to put all the concept together, we can help you from deciding what name is the best for you to what the menu can be if you don't have an idea, or if you have some sort of idea, we also can help you to do the plan for your store, for your equipment, for your seating or your queue line, and take all that with all of our great partners here of restaurant distribution equipment. So you can reach us at info@312id.com.
You make those red hats that they use, that you see around town?
No, I have not. That's one thing that we don't do.
Steve, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? I got to change my haircut appointment because of this on September 6th. Anyway, I'm Steve Whitehill, and I help people buy and sell businesses. I own Anchor Business Brokers, and as I usually like to do, like to tell you about a business that's available for sale. I have an Italian restaurant in Miami, actually. I know where it is. I can be more specific, but I don't want to give it away. This restaurant does about $5.5 million in sales annually. On that, you earn a million, just under $1.7 million. It has, which makes it uncannily profitable. It's about a 31% profit margin, which for any business, let alone a restaurant, is fabulous. The sales price is $5.2 million. Oh, also, they just acquired a location right next to them, so they can add an additional 20 seats. So there's sort of built-in growth. And interestingly enough, if you own a restaurant, you could possibly you can't get quite 100% financing, but if you come in with 200,000, the SBA would finance 5 million of that. So you could buy this thing for virtually nothing and make a lot of money. And if you didn't, you'd only need about $700,000 to buy this business. So there's some really interesting opportunities to make a lot of money, and this is just one of them. Steve Whitehill, Anchor Business Brokers, and I can be reached at 561-376-7500. And my phone number, that is my phone number. My email address is steve@anchorbb.com. Thank you.
You know, when a business is sold, Steve,
Yeah,
there is created a debt that has to be paid back if people are borrowing money
sure.
to get in. So the restaurant or the business has to do more business or raise their prices to cover the
No,
debt.
no. I mean, I understand why you would look at it that way, but look at it the other way around. The real question, is there enough profit left for you, the owner, to have sufficient income after paying off the debt?
Yeah, okay, I understand that.
Okay.
But
And
what's the percentage of restaurants after they get sold that continue or close?
well, restaurants are really, generally speaking, a bad investment. So, to buy a restaurant is all you know because you're in the business. You better be a restaurateur. You better know what you're doing. Otherwise, you will fail. Restaurants don't last very long on average. This one is, let's see if I can tell you how old it is. It's a 9-year-old restaurant. So this guy's been around for a bit, but restaurants are very difficult. People ought not to get into them unless they really do know. But the issue is, and I didn't do the calculation, but I suspect out of the million, what did I say, 7 that this business makes, you probably will still keep $1 million after paying off the loan on an annual basis. Okay, so that's not a bad little return.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for the explanation. And if you're opening a restaurant and you're looking to save some of your cash and you want to buy equipment, talk to Brian.
Indeed.
Talk to Ed.
Well, Ed's got the equipment.
Go ahead, Brian. Tell us why.
My God. I can't. Go
Brian,
ahead.
go ahead,
Huh?
Brian.
Okay. I'm Brian with Road Financial Group. We are a commercial equipment financing company. Work all over the country. I work with small to large projects. I do some stuff with startups. Again, it's from small. We can do small wares up to when I say small wares, not like plates and silverware and cups like that, but like stuff that's usually somewhere in the range of $500 to $700. And I do, refrigeration and things like that. And again, I'm Brian with Rogue Financial Group. I can be reached at 404-723-7222. And again, just real quick, I'll share with you just the benefits. It has the tax credits, saves your capital, things like that. That's it.
Can you lease furniture?
Yeah. Yeah. The tricky thing about furniture, if it's really custom made furniture that, it's that is made in like wood stuff, that's a little bit trickier, but I can get that done. I can get that financed. But yeah, it's a little trickier. But things have been changing a little bit in the industry as far as what they'll finance. But one of the things is furniture. Other stuff is just just some other equipment that they won't do. Like I can get it done. It's again a little bit trickier, but hoods in the if you don't own the property, then hoods are a little bit tougher. But I figure a way to get them done.
Dishwashers can also be leased.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Dishwashers, ice machines, things like that.
Brian, didn't you just close on a deal on something a little bit larger? Or am I thinking of something else?
Yeah, I did this thing for Chris knows who they are, but they're called Clean Plate Restaurants. They opened up a place called Zest up in Cary, North Carolina. And I think it was about 125 I financed for them. And again, about them, they're looking sometime in October to come back down to Jacksonville to do a remodel of one of their locations, and they're looking for another location. So maybe I'll get you involved with them, Steve. Maybe they can, buy another business and put their concept into it.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So that's it. That's about it.
Okay.
And then, but real quick, Mike, I have a lead for you. Yeah, it's kind of early stages, called Lanier Restaurant Management Group. They own a bunch of Pablo's Mexican restaurants, and they're looking to maybe open another concept. So I'll email that to you. I'll email you their
Cool.
contact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What area they're roughly in?
Mostly Dahlonega. I think they're Dahlonega, Gainesville.
Okay. So it's
Mostly up that-
Sergio.
Yeah,
and those.
Sergio.
Okay.
Yeah. I've known Sergio for years. But yeah.
Okay.
And his
Charles
wife.
needs leads that are in driving distance.
I'm sorry?
Charles needs leads that are in driving distance. Because you call him on Monday, he's there on Tuesday.
Okay.
I'll get up there. I just need to. I wasn't planning on doing Georgia this year, but if it's sweet enough to pay the taxes there, I'll definitely drive up there.
I mean, so what he's talking, the Pueblos, so like they've got 5, 6 locations, something like that. So like
Yeah.
that would be one like I would do as a special trip for like that store. If you could put together a group package for their like all their management staff, they could,
Yeah.
bring them all in for a day and you do all their team. That would I would see the benefit in that for them. And you.
He's been open since the one in Dahlonega, I think has been open since 2005, 2006.
They do a great job. Their food's fantastic.
Yeah.
He's got the grapevine too. Mexican, mostly Mexican. He's got two Italian places.
Yeah.
So.
All right, great, thank you. And if you're paying back that debt, you need to get money through your system. So you're going to go with Mike and his point of sale systems.
So I mean, the question is so like, are we going to lead in next to how do I buy my ice cream, equipment, or should I staff my restaurant from All Stars? That's the question for next. But we'll see.
Actually, you can do everything at one time.
You can do them all. You do.
And have Brian finance it.
Yeah.
Totally.
We get everybody a little piece of the action.
Yeah.
So I'm Mike Sardone. I am the Georgia State Manager for Spot On Point of Sale Systems. We have all of your point of sale needs. We handle all your processing and also all your back of the house reporting. It's a cloud-based system. The main focuses we try to do is grow your client base, build customer retention, boost profitability, and then enhance your employee experience for retention. So really, as far as that goes, my contact info is 678-231-2279. My email is Mike, M-I-K-E, .Sardone, S-A-R-D-O-N-E, at spoton.com. We are nationwide. If you can contact me, I can get you in contact with anybody you need.
Great, thank you. And if you want to talk to the coolest guy in the industry with ice cream and gelato, talk to Ed.
Ta-da! Thank you, Howard. Nice introduction. You're on a roll right now. Okay. Yeah, my name is Ed Gurton with Seacoast Sales out of Orange Park, Florida. We're an equipment supply company that specializes in frozen dessert equipment. So we have horizontal and vertical batch freezers. We have soft serve machines. We have whipped cream machines. We have slushy machines. We have shake machines. We have display cases. So we represent Carpigiani, BGI, ESA, IFE, GTI Design. You can reach me at 904-334-4489. And Howard, we will be at the Florida Restaurant Show in booth 1745. I know you're going to talk about that in a minute. And we're going to be giving out samples of gelato from a batch freezer. We will have, at this point, either a shake machine or a soft serve machine to give out product to taste. And we have other equipment there, but we'll not be operating. So we'll see you in Orlando in the convention center. I think it's November 6th and 7th
Right.
in booth 1745. Have a good day, everybody.
Yeah, I was working on our booth configuration last night, and the way it looks right now, we're going to have a 10 by 80 to be divided up amongst people who are in the group. So that's a pretty big presence for the two, the two combined groups. Cynthia, were you planning to do that show?
I'll know better in the next couple of weeks.
Okay, because we're getting close to deadlines.
Okay.
Hey, Howard, just I heard from one of the people at the restaurant show that as of Monday, they have sold or pre-sold more booth space than they did last year at this time, or total.
Right.
And the number of attendees that have signed has already exceeded what was signed up last year. So I'm expecting a large turnout at the show.
Yeah, well, it's going to be good.
Absolutely.
Going back to the good old days.
Yep.
Hopefully. Speaking about
the good old days.
Speaking about good old things, the man who takes care of them, Rick Israel. How you doing?
What the heck? Did you write all this down?
I think I think he's doing it all. I think he's doing a great job. Good job, Howard. Good job.
Yes.
So we've discussed buying businesses. We've discussed how we're going to staff businesses, but staff want benefits. Benefits to include health insurance, benefits to include ancillary products like critical illness. We're talking about short-term disability, long-term disability. Our agency can help you with those benefits for your employees. We have a great enrollment system. It's pretty much all self-explanatory. Everything can be sent down to the HR manager. HR managers instructs the employees what to do, and they enroll themselves. So it's a very self-usable tool. And then once your employees decide that they're ready to retire, we can also help them enroll into the Medicare space. So we have a plethora of information. And if you have money that you need to move around after you retire, we can also help you with life insurance products to include annuities. So we can be reached at 256-937-2537. And my name is Rick Israel. I didn't introduce myself. I do apologize.
Okay. Thank you. Now, if you ever been to a casino, you know that the ace, if it comes up on a blackjack table, that's a great card to have. And the man who deals with aces all the time.
Yes. And
take it away, Chris.
Make sure your deck of cards does not have those jokers either. Chris Kaufman, recruiter of the stars, restaurantallstars.com, 404 All-Star, 404-255-7827 for those of you who've lost your alphabet mind. We work on behalf of the restaurant companies to find talent for them. And, they could probably run an ad, and they do. I have made a placement with Marriott recently, and the guy said, we ran an ad on the internet, and we didn't get who we were looking for. And I said, well, the internet is fine, and it's a valuable tool, but it's not the only tool. Communication is the real tool. and knowing who to communicate with and when, that's the real talent. So for a short but illustrious 43 years, we've been placing aces in great places, working on behalf of the restaurant companies to find the talent that they are looking for and getting an understanding of the type of background they want, kind of experience, and also where they are as far as financially, because finances help to turn the world. And we are based in Vidalia, Georgia, otherwise known as the #1 vacation spot for the stars. But we do work throughout the United States, and we're proud to do so. We have a couple of people interviewing in Atlanta today. We have a person in Philadelphia, and he doesn't know it, but I know it. He's going to get an offer right around 12 noon today. And then we have people interviewing at the JFK airport next week. So we do work throughout the United States. Most of the work is Southeast United States, and work on behalf of the restaurant companies to find the talent they need in the time frame that's most appropriate for them. So you can reach us at 404 All-Star, 404-255-7827. Be sure and ask for Chris. Accept no substitutes. And we will make sure you get optimum service. And any further questions?
Yes.
Well, thanks for stopping by.
So Chris, when you call that number, do you talk to your secretary, then ask for Chris, and then the secretary puts you on hold and go get you?
Actually, if you call that number and I answer, that means that the secretary is probably not showing up today, and well, probably won't be here Monday either. So, but we're a hands-on type of company. We don't have layers and layers of BS. We like to work directly with decision makers. So if you're a decision maker, feel free to give us a call. If you're a bureaucrat, please call our competition, take up their time.
Chris, a quick question. With all the restaurants that are closing up now, are you seeing an uptick in people who are calling you to inquire about new positions?
Yes, and we are seeing an uptick in restaurant owners who don't want to be caught in whatever downturn might be happening out there. And all downturns are local. It's not, I mean, you could be red hot in Atlanta and so in Charlotte. And it's there are certain trends and there are certain positions. A couple of years ago, everybody wanted to get a marketing person. Got to get a marketing person. And now it's really gravitated back to operations. You know, get us somebody who understands numbers. And you know, I asked the guy the other day, I said, what was your food cost? And he said, well, generally at dinner it's about $25. I said, no, not what does your food cost? What is your food cost percentage? Oh yeah, well, the owner took care of that. So you don't know. So, you know, that's why just a few key questions can unveil a lot of information about somebody. So,
okay,
you know, but if there's not enough people looking, then we have to go find them, don't we?
Right.
And one phone call leads to another, leads to another, leads to another. And I remember when I was reading Advertising Age magazine, which used to be the Bible of the marketing industry, and there was an article in there that Darrow Diamond had recently resigned as VP of Marketing for Wendy's. And I was working on a position for a VP of marketing for Darden Restaurants. And I thought, there's my guy. That's the guy. So I called long distance information to Dublin, Ohio, which is where Wendy's was headquartered at that time, and got the guy's phone number, called him up. He was as gracious as ever. Thank you so much for calling me. I appreciate it. But the reason I quit my job at Wendy's, I've got an investment group and we're going to be doing some other things. However, what are you looking for? I said, I need a VP of marketing for Red Lobster. And he said, here's the guy. And he said, Ray Caruso at McDonald's. Here's his private office number. Give him a call. I said, can I use your name? Absolutely. We used to work together. So I called Ray and I said, listen, on the advice of Darrow Diamond, I wanted to give you a call about a significant VP of marketing opportunity. And he said, hold on, let me close my door. And Ray eventually got the job. So, but it's just that little scrap of information about Daryl Diamond leaving Wendy's, and fortunately, the guy's phone number was in the book.
Yeah, nothing happens unless you make it happen.
Right. Mm-hmm.
In one way or another.
Yep.
And speaking about making things happen and knowing who's opening it and where, TRN Terry knows that.
And I don't mind going after Chris today because after a 4-hour deposition yesterday, this is a cake to me. So, Chris, you did a terrific job. Little more info than you usually give, which is nice. Love the background. Vidalia must have dropped off, but you certainly upped the scales and the antes there with your beautiful background.
Yeah.
Right. I am the one that will tell you what's opening when and where in Florida and in Georgia. All right. This is a monthly leads report that people cannot seem to get enough of. We put it in an Excel spreadsheet. I personally guarantee you 50 brand new leads every single month in Florida. Names of owners, establishments. Are they here? One will have top tier entertainment, 230 seat indoor outdoor specialty Italian. I got this morning. Wine, specialty wines, and this one is opening up in Coral Springs late 2024. If anybody wants more information on that, you can give me a call, 561-620-8888. That's a freebie for you. And if anybody wants a sample report, same phone number, I'm happy to do it. Email me at terry@trnusa.com. And we also do phone numbers, emails, addresses, complete with zip code. So if you're doing a mail or you're doing an email build where you want to send out your own constant contact form, whatever. Our team puts everything together and gets it to me on the 1st. I get it to you by the 9th. Have a great weekend, or as Chris would say, if he would have thought of it, as Tony the Tiger would say, have a great weekend. Bye.
Bye.
Over.
I don't even know how to follow that.
Well, you can't. You did that.
It's tough. Do you know the Honey Nut Cheerios isn't made with nuts anymore? That's the only cereal contact I have.
Are you serious? You know what? Honey Nut Cheerios just got put. Oh, never mind. We're being recorded. Okay, go ahead, Howard. It's your turn. Let me introduce Howard Appel. He is publisher and founder of Today's Restaurant News since 1995. He will be speaking next. He is also the founder and publisher of this group. He is also Howard Appel, the man. Go ahead, Howard.
Ooh, wow.
The man, the legend.
Oh my God.
Oh man. Did we last week we spoke about the use of cell phones in a restaurant by employees? Did we also talk about restaurants feeding their employees?
No.
No. Okay. So there are a lot of different opinions on how to treat your employees when it comes to food. Chris, you have experience, and Charles, you have experience within restaurants. I'm sure everybody here has worked in a restaurant at some time. What's the predominant policy on feeding the employees?
You should. It's important to feed your employees. Just like it reminds me of the what was it? My mom used to. She was a teacher in the school and in relatively poor area, and she'd get kids in that they would call troublemakers, and because they couldn't concentrate because they were hungry. She figured that out because they would they'd come to her library for certain classes, and she, oh, they're obviously hungry. They need something to eat. So she would help get them something to eat and helps up. So if you want your people to perform in tip-top shape, you want them fed, and hopefully they're clothed, unless it's a different concept. But yeah, feeding's important.
Have you heard of the family meal within a restaurant?
Yeah, that's what the company chefs usually get to do. They'll come up with something fun that's stuff that's available, and or if they have something that they like to make, uh chef will order it in and they can make it for everybody.
It's more predominant in the independent restaurants than the chain restaurants.
Yeah.
Because the chain restaurants are so P&L conscious, they're not going to let the chef just, make stuff up. But the independent restaurants, a lot more flexibility.
I may be missing something here, which I'm sure I am after yesterday, but Howard, were you speaking about discounts for employees or feeding employees? Is that what you were talking about?
That's an option, but that's not the gist of the question. The question is, if an employee is working, do they get to eat a meal?
Oh, well, that's exactly what I said.
But there is what you mentioned. That's one of the things that some restaurants have instituted, a discount for their existing employees. They can come in at any time, actually, and some restaurants will feed their employees at a reduced rate if they come in off shift.
Okay.
So it's just another way of creating positive vibes in a restaurant to keep staff. Because some of the kids who are going to school nowadays, those are the only meals they get during the day. And some of these people in the restaurants may be in the same position.
I can't even, that makes me ill. No child should be hungry.
I will tell you that most of the schools in Morgan County where we live, in the rural counties, I would say over 60% of those kids are on free or reduced lunches right now. And school buses will actually pick them up a little bit earlier now so they can at least get breakfast in the morning. So, because a lot of these kids in where I'm at, they come from very broken homes where schools and religious organizations are more or less just babysitters. And there's no food in the house, no nothing. I mean, I've seen, soup kitchens getting longer. I've seen the homelessness here in Alabama, here in Huntsville, is the worst I've ever seen in the 28 years I've been here. And that's just because our city is getting bigger. Obviously, I cannot imagine what it's like in larger cities like, Miami. You would not think in Boca or Boynton Beach or Delray Beach you'd have homelessness, but there is. And they are shamed, they are pushed aside, and they're just, if I see somebody on the side of the road who needs some money for food, it's not my job. It's not my job to judge them. It's my job to help them. But I always put a stipulation. I'll give you this money, but tell me your story.
Yeah.
Where'd you come from? How'd you get here? Just because sometimes they just want somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
And it's heart-wrenching. And it's because I've been there. I mean, we lost our house to foreclosure back in 2015. I had no idea where I was going to go. I had a wife and 2 children. What do you do? So, fortunately we were able to get housing, but some people don't.
Yeah. To comment on Rick real quick, my wife, I guess, was it from 12 to about 16, 17. She worked in the after school program for the Y. And these kids, some of the kids would say, well, I would go home and my wife would ask them, what did you eat for lunch? And someone will open up and say, well, that was my last meal. I'll go home and I don't have any food. So my wife teamed up with Little Caesars, Costco, Dunkin' Donuts, some of these other ones. And before she went there, she would go and pick up pizzas, things like that, to make sure these kids had some extra stuff before they went home. Because a lot of times these, I guess, parents didn't have money to give them food. So yeah, but
It's
that's
hard.
Yeah, so one of the local churches in our neighborhood is in a kind of I don't want to say a low income area, but there's a lot of rundown mobile home parks. And so the school approached the local church, and on the fourth Sunday, the church donates money. And what the school is doing is they're taking that money and they're buying nutrition food. And while the kids are not paying attention, they're putting their foods in their backpacks. So when they get on the bus, they see they've got food to eat, or and so it's heart wrenching, because nobody should go hungry. Nobody should, there's, Howard earlier was talking about how we waste plastic. I mean, the amount of food that gets wasted. I mean, what I love about Publix is they will take their cakes and their bread, and they will donate it to food banks.
Mhm.
And I think it's phenomenal, you know.
And they do that at the restaurant show. They have the food banks come around and pick up all the leftover things that they don't give away to people that come by and say, can I have a pack of tortillas? We're giving this away. They will put aside all their stuff now for the local food banks to come and pick up, which I think is phenomenal. They used to throw it all away, but now the food banks have come to the convention center after the show, the last day, when the exhibitors are gone, and they've taken, what they've given them, and the remainder goes to the food banks.
I volunteer at a nonprofit in a small town called New Hope, Alabama, and I volunteer at the food bank. And they what they do is they base it on income, and they have to bring in certain information to make sure that they qualify for it. And they're only allowed to come once a month, but they bring in a whole bunch of food. It breaks my heart to see some of these people in these type of positions. And who knows how they got there, but we're not going to sit there and say, well, before we give you this food, how'd you get here?
No,
Not
no,
our business. It's not our business.
no, no. And it makes them feel horrible. And if it's drug related, then so be it. Like you
Yeah.
said, it's not to us to judge. Just
we unfortunately have come to the end of our time for today. I want to thank you all for the conversation today. It was spirited and informative. We have a lot of great information within this group, a lot of great experiences that we can afford to the industry. So if you want to reach us, give us a call at 561-620-8888, or go to our website and try to come to a meeting at trnusa.com. And if you want to show this meeting to anybody, it'll be on our YouTube page, which is at Today's Restaurant, and it's also accessible through our website. So have a great weekend. I will not see you next week. Don't forget, we're coming back on the 6th of September at 10 a.m. Have a great weekend. Stay safe,
Right.
and let the sauce be with you.